society does not have to pay your bills. Society doesn't have to live with your regrets. Society doesn't have to wake up every morning and look at you in the mirror, okay? Society doesn't have to go to sleep at night thinking the thoughts that you think. So it doesn't make sense to live for them. I mean, if you don't have a kid, there's no excuse for you to be obsessing about what other people think. Look, I mean, I used to be like that. But I knew that there was something wrong with that, and I wanted to get over that, and eventually I did. It's not that I don't care what anybody thinks, it's just that it doesn't change my behavior, you know? I mean, how many people have gotten on to me about things I've said and done, and it's like, fuck you, I'm still gonna say and do what the fuck I want to say and do, you know? Within reason. You know, if I end up saying something or doing something that actually hurts somebody, like, I feel bad about it, legit feel bad, and I won't say or do it again. You know? So when I say just go with yourself, I don't mean at the expense of other people. Maybe at the expense of them liking you, but fuck them. Like I said, they don't have to be you. The biggest mistake you can make is like not learning shit. And just being mad at yourself because you made the wrong decision at some point. Maybe you made a series of wrong decisions. I've made a lot of really bad choices in my life. But, you know, I was in my 20s, and I think the biggest mistake I ever made was getting on antidepressant. And it sent me on this path of like total self-destruction. So it's kind of funny that that's what I was afraid of, and that's what I ended up doing as a result of being afraid of it. I don't think that people should be trained to be afraid of themselves. You know? That just doesn't make sense to me. You need to be best friends with yourself. You shouldn't be your own enemy. But I used to be very much my own arch nemesis. And then I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like, oh, okay, I smoked enough weed, or because I don't want to just say it's because of weed, but I think it had a lot to do with that acceptance of things that most people in Western civilization just can't accept, you know, just like being sad. Like, you know, there are days when I'm like really fucking depressed and I just don't want to do anything, so I don't do anything. And I don't call it a mental health day or none of that gay shit. I just don't do anything, man. It's like, why does it have to be so fucking deep? Like, it's like, okay, treat a mental health problem the same way you treat a physical problem. If you are having like food poisoning, you're gonna have to shit a lot. You're gonna have to puke a lot. You know, if you're emotional about something, that means that like you're having this experience that you need to understand a little bit more. Don't deny it. Don't be a fucking pussy and like run away from it, because it's still gonna be there. Somebody said this to me a long time ago when I was in the process of quitting alcohol. They were like, you know, all the problems that you're trying to run away from, they're still going to be there when you come back. You're just going to have way more problems because you're an alcoholic. It's very true. But I actually think that alcoholics, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I think that a lot of alcoholics, you know, they deal with trauma, and it's easier for them to drink. And then whatever problems that they create through drinking, it's still better than the other problems that they were dealing with before. So, I don't know, man. I think that if you're drinking a lot, or you're smoking a lot, or you're just using drugs, or you're on social media all the time, watching porn, whatever it is, it's like there's a reason why you're doing that. You need to do an investigation into yourself. Figure out. And like, if you just look at the world, you can make that excuse and be like, well, the world's shit. And like, yeah, that's true. And like, I totally get that. I really do. But you shouldn't just be a fucking deadbeat or, you know, like just totally destroy yourself because the world's bad. I mean, I don't think that that's the real reason. That's an easy scapegoat, though. Because, yeah, the world is total shit, and the world will continue to be shit. And, you know, drinking and using drugs, like, it's not gonna make that go away. Like, the world doesn't go away just because you forget about it. Just because you black out, you know? Like, the world's gonna be there when you aren't blacked out anymore, you know? So then you just have to keep drinking and using drugs. But I really do get it. That's why I try to come from a place of empathy rather than, like, you know, judgment. I feel like that it's wrong. I'm trying to do that more, especially with the psychiatric drugs, because I really do feel sorry for people that are on them. I want to help them. But, you know, most of them aren't ready for that. Because they see themselves as a victim of their mental illness. And what is kind of ironic about that is that, you know, they really are like making themselves a victim by taking drugs that are just going to worsen their problem. And then they'll have you more problems. It's the same thing. Only you're not getting high. You know, it's like if you're going to be on drugs that like have like major symptoms, is like why don't you like the what do you call it? Side effects. If you're going to do drugs that have like major side effects, like you probably should do, you know, good ones, you know, fun ones that offer you something more than a psychiatrist ever will. But, you know, it is your life. It is your life to ruin, it is your life to destroy, and it is your life to rationalize, right? Now, my friend's at the hospital. I'm going to see him at the hospital. He's got these kidney problems. But, I gotta figure out what room he's in. But pray for my friend Todd if you can. Yeah, I'm about to go visit him. But I'll chat with you later, Vortex.